There are thousands of DOS games. Most of them are terrible. I play one selected at random with a 20-minute time limit and record it live. This is the result. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another random DOS game show. And this is the Steam version of Dungeon Keeper. So let's see how this runs. Might not do so well. For those who don't know, Dungeon Keeper is a game I'm very bad at, but I absolutely adore it. So we'll see how this goes. I'll definitely run over time here, I think. Let's just sit back and enjoy this wonderful, wonderful introduction, yeah? Yep, that's one of the greatest introductions in gaming history. This is, as I said before, Dungeon Keeper. And we get a little loading CD. Happy birthday, Jaunty Barnes. Oh, very nice. So we've start new game, continue game, multiplayer options, high scores and stuff.
Ever smile. Set in the realm of joy, the people of Eversmile are plagued only by aching facial muscles, and not anthrax as we had hoped. Eversmile is a disgusting land of good humor and polite frivolity.
Okay, so you click on the little flag, we zoom on in, and let's get cracking. Now, there may be a few sound glitches, and it might not run as quickly as some people are used to, but this is Dungeon Keeper. The first thing a keeper needs is somewhere to keep gold. Right, so these little things, these little notifications pop up on the side here. And we'll look at that info after. Let's just build ourselves a little treasure room, shall we? So the reason I talk about sound issues is because this is running in Proton on a version of DOSBox staging. So if there's a few glitches here and there, I do apologise. So we'll clear those instead of reading them because we're clever like that. And we'll select this gold seam with our mouse. Our mouse is a little hand. Our Dungeon Keeper's omnipresent hand. If you want to make your creatures work, slap them like that and they'll work faster. But, you know, at the expense of their health if you slap them too much. And yes, you can slap a creature to death. So there's this kind of macabre, dark atmosphere. You can hear it in the background with the soundtrack, with the lack of light, the constant pulsing of your dungeon heart. So I've got these two little imps, maybe three, I'm not sure how many you start with. Three I think. And they are mining this gold seam, and you'll see under the auto map in the top left hand corner, there's a little number. That's the amount of gold you have, and we'll be using that later. Use the left mouse button to pluck your creatures. So this function is quite cool, because it's a hand for a reason. Let's just do that. Aha! We can pick them up. Yeah. And you can just hold them there. Now what these little imps are doing now is claiming the territory. If you drop them down in a certain place, they'll claim that territory for you if it's unclaimed. And the reason you need to claim areas is so that you can build upon them. It's sort of like...
Into a new area.
Oh! I was going to say it's sort of like building platforms in Dune 2, you know. It's that kind of concept, because this isn't a straight-up RTS. It might look like it at first glimpse, but it's not. There's elements of Peter Molyneux's previous game, Populous, where it's a bit of a god game, you know. And it's actually also a bit of a management game. It's a real mixed bag, and that's what makes it so fascinating, you know. And I know there's 100 million features of Dungeon Keeper that I will not be, you know, showcasing. And there's a bunch of YouTubers out there who are Dungeon Keeper masters who have played thousands of hours, who you can look up and it can show you the more advanced features of the game. Now you see, I cannot build a lair there because the ground isn't claimed. So I'm just going to wait for these imps to finish the mining operation and then claim the land. Like so. Then I can happily build on there. Yeah, look at that. Very inviting. Except for one wincy little problem. I don't have any creatures coming in. So, let's fix that. We'll build a little tunnel, and you'll see that big shining object in our map. That is where our creatures come from. The mystical portal. Hurry up! Dig faster! Come on. My viewers can't wait. The imps will be looking around confused and saying, viewers? What viewers? So it takes a little longer for imps to claim rooms, but they can do that. Otherwise it would be a very short game. So I called it a portal. It's an entrance, but it's a portal. So he calls it an entrance, but it's a portal. It's not confusing at all. So yeah, they are now reinforcing the walls. When an imp doesn't have anything else to do, he reinforces walls. And this is useful because reinforced walls can't be dug through by enemies. And you will come across enemies who are digging around. Your first minion has arrived. It's a fly. Look at him go. Yep, and you can see what he's thinking. He's thinking to himself, I need to make a home. And now he has. Now for the rest of the dungeon, he will fly around, irritating everybody, and generally is quite a useful little exploratory creature, but utterly hopeless in combat. So if there's a little area that you haven't sort of mined out, or not mined out, explored after mining out, the fly will scuttle along and, fly along. I'm looking at the beetle as it's scuttling, and I'm thinking scuttling. So the beetle, he's a bit of a tank. He can, take a few hits, and he's a useful sort of early game, mid sort of tier striker. You just plop him down in front of people and he'll keep them preoccupied while you get your better minions. But unfortunately, they won't just, keep serving you. They need food. And what better way to get food than with a hatchery? Also, rooms have efficiency levels. So that's explored in the manual. I'll not go into great depths. But wait a minute. Lawnie, you're meant to go into great depths. Shush you. Just let me play my game and enjoy myself. Yeah, if you build a room too large, it's inefficient. If you build a room too small, then it's not going to cater to everyone, and also it'll not attract the right creatures. Creatures are attracted by a certain size of dungeon, So you see the little tiles. You're encouraged to build in squares, That'll make the room more efficient. Squares or rectangles, And this is a spell. We can conjure up some more imps because we have the money now, and that'll make things more efficient for us. Of course, if you have too many imps, it's just like rooms, Too many tiles, not efficient. Too many rooms, or too many imps, not efficient, because some will just be sat there doing nothing. So we've got our little hatchery. there will be chickens that you can hear slowly hatching. And yes, the sound of this game is one of its big selling points. You can see room's health and all that, and how full it is, and so on, how effective it is. Why not have a handful of creatures ready to drop on top of intruders? I mean, I could. Oh, intruders approach. Well, that's convenient. So you can see with 5 beetles there, let's just take them and ignore the flies. And also, there's our map. So we can see on our map, yep, there's digging sounds. People are digging, and it's also switched. And you can see this new view that it's got here. The top-down view, which a lot of players actually prefer for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. I love the sort of... I'm not even sure if it's isometric, almost isometric view. Also, you can zoom in and out with a numpad, or not numpad, the home and end, I think it is, or page up and page down. Now, how can we change that? View type. Ah, that's not doing it. I think you just rotate with the arrow keys. Sorry, the numpad. But we'll worry about that another time. Intruders are approaching. There we go. That's a bit better. I thought the intruders would be in by now, but apparently not. There's the zoom function for you, just in case you wanted to see that desperately. So, the problem with the intruders now, you can hear them trying to get through near the entrance/portal, but they can't, because the walls have been reinforced by our helpful imps. So, we'll take those flies as well. Why not? They're all level 1. They're not going to make much of a difference, but... So we've got 7 creatures there, but we can only drop them on claimed land. So there's one area that hasn't been fortified. You'll see it there. That's where they're going to be coming from. And we just have to wait patiently for that to happen. I never thought I'd get to this game. I always thought this was going to be the one that, you know, it would take me 20 years to get to her. So there it goes.
The enemy has broken through your
and
walls.
drop.
Your creatures are attacking the enemy.
Now, combat. You can see the little sort of rosette on top of their head there. Going down. He's no match for that many. You don't need quality minions when you can have endless numbers of trash mobs, as they'd say. I mean, in later games, that's not the case. You need to train up your troops. But you'll see on the map, that's not the only enemies. So there is somebody else out there. And obviously the beetles, after having fought, they have a mind of their own. They have a sort of almost a sim-like quality to them, even though this was 3 years before the Sims. And they're like, look, mate, I've just had a super long battle. I'm gonna go rest now. And I've picked them up using the creature tab.
The enemy has broken through your walls.
And I'll just drop them down here. There we go, bit more combat. Oh dear, that fly is not enjoying himself. Look at the beetles jumping up and down, encouraging the fly. Ha! I could have sworn that fly would have been a goner. And as I, showed earlier, you can have, your imps pick up the gold, or you can pick up the gold if it's in the right spot. So they're all going for a little nap, and we can see, just beyond our walls here, that, they've done a bit of tunneling, haven't they? Look at that. The enemy's responsible for all that. Now, payday is when your creatures require the gold, and your, dungeon keeper advisor will tell them how much.
The Lord of the land approaches.
We shall send you back to the pits, foul one.
Well, that spells the end of the level.
Your
So are
creatures
these guys?
under attack.
They're not going to get paid. Get out of there, fly. Oh no, wait, I picked up the wrong one. Should I let him die? No. I'll save him. But I mean, he's just going to fly back into the battle. So there's the Lord of the Land. He will be slowly and steadily approaching with his big broadsword. So we'll pick up all our creatures. We'll wait for him to approach, and then we'll end the level. they don't need to get paid. Also, if you do this strategy, if you keep creatures in your hand and it's payday and you just don't let them get paid, they're going to get upset. And eventually they'll leave if, you've taken too long with their money. Okay, not too long now. It's nice we're able to just see what he's up to. Ready for the big battle?
Creatures are under attack.
Go!
Your creatures are attacking the enemy. Your creatures are falling in battle.
Well, unsurprisingly, he killed one of them flies.
Your creatures are falling in battle.
And there goes the Everfly. But the beetles are a little more resilient. Go on, Paul. Go on, John. Go on, Ringo. Yes, that's a terrible joke. That's what you came here for. Look at that little rosette thing go down. Matter of time. There we go. Your work here is done. Now there's no one to prevent you from obliterating this nauseating realm and expanding your empire into a neighboring land. Sweet. Nice. Yeah. So, you'll see the info thing popped up there that says you just need to press spacebar to proceed to the next realm. So we'll do that.
Branahawk. War and anthrax have taken to this land like fleas to a rat. The region is, thanks to your unstinting efforts, now a major eyesore.
Okay. And we've got a little high score table. So let's enter our name. Lawnie. Oh, well spelt. Okay. On to the next one, I guess.
Cozyton. A hideous sham of a town, in which the prosperous citizens have no gripes or moans. Sadly, even the children are happy and secure. This is because they aren't punished for non-existent crimes.
Okay, here we are. Remember the lessons you learned in Branahawk? Well, unfortunately, I've only got 5 minutes left in this playthrough. I mean, it's just flowing in. And there's new music. And we're digging our way through to the treasury. We're going to make a treasury using the gold. It's not the ideal strategy, but it's something I enjoy doing. Nice big treasury, while taking out that entire gold scheme.
You must build a treasure room.
Yes, I know I must build a treasure room. And this will be our lair. See how that I'm going to incorporate the portal with the lair. Again, it's probably not ideal, but it means that entering creatures will be like, oh look, there's the lair that I want to make immediately. So it speeds things along for them. And I'm trying to get all the rooms kind of interconnected. I just like that. It just provides quicker traversal. There we go. That's probably not ideal, but hey, let's build another one while we're at it. And what you're going to see here is mostly, similar to what I've shown you already, which is why, I'll not be playing it long, that and the time limit. The thing is, there's so much more to Dungeon Keeper that I cannot show you within 20 minutes, so much. Also, if you build a treasury here, it actually gives you money because you're building on top of dropped gold, which is nice. Okay. Don't know why I did a little bottleneck with the treasury. Who knows. Now my imps are busy digging out here. And Dungeon Keeper runs in sort of turns, but in real time. And if you turn up the processor cycles, it does allow for a smoother game. And you'll see, that the frame rate goes up. But by the same measure, the game is quicker. So you have to sort of pick and choose your battles. So I'd probably play a little quicker than what the Steam game is actually playing at here, the Steam version. So let's just build our little lair. And there we go, Beetle already. He took one look at our dungeon and he was like, I'm gonna have that. I'm not gonna try a Liverpool accent. Nobody needs to hear that. Especially not my mother, who's from Birkenhead. You will need to make your creatures stronger. In a training room, your creatures can hone their fighting skills, gain new abilities, and learn more powerful spells. Now, obviously, this is the one downside to Dungeon Keeper on account of it being released in like 1997, and that is there's no kind of click and drag going on. There is Keeper FX, which allows click and drag for certain things, but I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I know some people are going to disagree with me. I don't like Keeper FX. I love 90% of what it does, but, and here's the but, it changes the AI. It makes the AI a lot harder. A lot harder. So by the time you get to levels like Tickle, it's relentless, it's brutal. So you'll be playing along quite happy in the first few levels, thinking this is amazing, this is the ultimate remaster of Dungeon Keeper that we needed. And if you're a new player, when you come to that level, you'll just be like, why the sudden enormous leap in difficulty? I know people will disagree with that. I just wish there was an easier AI version that was more like the original. Because I like, and it's something that a lot of the Dungeon Keeper successors have failed at doing, I like the pacing of Dungeon Keeper. You know, certain levels, yes, you have to be quick, but most levels, there's this kind of, let's just tunnel around, take our time, build up, and enjoy ourselves, you know? Have I built that training room correctly? I think I have. Oh, whatever. It's fine. So yes, right now, I'm just having those imps. Oh, we've got a new monster. Look at him. He's all happy. He's training. He's gained a new level. It's a bile demon. No, demon spawn. Bile demon. Good grief. You wouldn't know I played this game for decades. They are super attracted to effective training rooms. Let's get more imps. And believe it or not, amazingly, that's 20 minutes. Just like that. So I'm going to leave it here. What is Dungeon Keeper? It's an RTS, business management, god game mix, which developed its own genre by Bullfrog. It's one of the greatest DOS games ever made. It's one of my favourite games of all time, even though I'm shockingly poor at it. And I just love it to bits. The atmosphere, the everything, like from graphics to sound to gameplay, was just chef's kiss. Perfect. So I feel like I don't need to go on about it much more. And if you like me talking about random DOS games, I do it all the time. Feel free to take a look at the hundreds of other videos on my channel. And if you like what you see there, you can always subscribe. And if you are more of a demon spawn than an imp, you might be one of my dungeoneering patrons who can dig out wonderful tunnels and rooms at their leisure. Wonderful thing.
Your creatures need a bigger lair.
So yeah, I'll just leave it here then, I guess. Dungeon Keeper. It's still just as good as you think it is. And for those who haven't played it, it's essential DOS gaming. Until next time.